Elena Rodriguez adjusted her pack straps as she approached the mountain training facility checkpoint. The morning air carried the sharp crack of distant rifle fire and shouted commands echoing off granite walls. She presented her contractor credentials to the guard, who barely glanced at the Wilderness Guide designation before waving her through. The Tactical Operations Center buzzed with activity as SEAL trainees clustered around terrain maps. Elena noticed their route planning ignored several key elevation advantages that would provide superior overwatch positions. When she approached the planning table, Petty Officer Thompson looked up with barely concealed irritation. "You lost, lady. This is a restricted tactical planning session." Elena pointed to the topographic lines on the map. "Your approach vector leaves you exposed to enfilade fire from those ridge positions. The natural defilade along the creek bed would provide better concealment." Thompson exchanged amused glances with his teammates. "Listen, sweetheart, we appreciate the hiking advice, but we know a little something about tactical movement. Why don't you stick to pointing out wildflowers and leave the military stuff to the professionals?" The other SEALs chuckled as Elena stepped back from the table. She had seen this dismissive attitude countless times before, but it never stopped stinging when genuine tactical knowledge was brushed aside because of assumptions about her civilian contractor status. The harassment intensified during the pre-mission briefing as Elena sat in the back corner reviewing altitude charts. Chief Martinez addressed the assembled teams about wind compensation at elevation, stating that standard sea level calculations would suffice for the mountain environment. Elena quietly noted the error in her field notebook. At 9,000 feet elevation, air density decreased significantly, requiring ballistic coefficient adjustments for long-range accuracy. The temperature differential between morning and afternoon would create thermal currents affecting bullet trajectory beyond 800 meters. When she raised her hand to mention the atmospheric considerations, Martinez cut her off mid-sentence. "Miss Rodriguez, we have certified marksmen handling all precision shooting requirements. Your job is keeping us from walking off cliffs, not teaching ballistics to naval special warfare operators." Laughter rippled through the assembled SEALs. Petty Officer Jackson leaned forward with mock concern. "Ma'am, have you ever actually fired anything bigger than a flare gun? Because real military marksmanship involves slightly more complexity than what they teach in civilian hunting courses." Elena felt her jaw tighten, but maintained professional composure. The dismissive comments continued as teams prepared equipment. Several SEALs made pointed jokes about civilian contractors trying to play soldier, each comment designed to remind her of her perceived place in the military hierarchy. The mockery reached its peak when Thompson announced loudly that maybe the hiking guide could teach them how to identify poisonous berries while the real warriors handled combat operations. The equipment staging area provided the final opportunity for humiliation before mission launch. Elena examined the Barrett M82A1 rifle systems, noting several scope adjustments that failed to account for the mountain environment. The elevation turrets showed sea level 0 settings despite the significant altitude change. When she approached the weapons sergeant about the ballistic corrections, he barely looked up from his clipboard. "Lady, these rifles were zeroed by Marine Corps armorers. I think they know a bit more about precision shooting than a trail guide, who probably learned everything from hunting magazines." Elena persisted, explaining the mathematical relationship between air density and projectile performance. "At this elevation, your bullet drop compensation will be off by nearly 2 MOA at ranges beyond 1,000 meters. The scope settings need adjustment for accurate long-range engagement." Sergeant Williams laughed openly, drawing attention from nearby personnel. "Listen, sweetheart, MOA calculations and mil-dot ranging are way above your pay grade. These weapon systems are calibrated by professionals who actually understand ballistic science, not weekend warriors with delusions of military competence." The surrounding SEALs joined the laughter as Elena stepped back from the weapons rack. Her technical knowledge, gained through years of precision shooting training and combat deployments, meant nothing against their preconceived notions about civilian contractors. As the teams prepared for insertion, Elena noticed storm clouds gathering over the target valley, creating wind patterns that would challenge even experienced marksmen operating with improperly calibrated equipment. The live fire exercise commenced at dawn, with Elena positioned at the observation post overlooking the target valley. Through her spotting scope, she watched the SEAL teams advance along predetermined routes toward their objective. Radio chatter filled her earpiece as units reported movement and enemy contact. "Bravo team, this is Alpha. We have multiple hostiles in fortified positions along the ridgeline, requesting immediate fire support." Elena tracked the enemy positions through her optics, noting their tactical placement blocked all conventional approach routes. The opposing force had established interlocking fields of fire that created a killing zone in the valley floor below. The SEAL teams attempted standard suppression tactics, but their weapons lacked sufficient range and accuracy to effectively engage targets at extended distances. Chief Martinez's voice crackled over the radio with growing frustration. "Control, Alpha Team is pinned down by enemy sniper positions. We cannot advance or withdraw without taking casualties. Need immediate overwatch support." Elena observed the tactical situation developing into a deadly stalemate. The enemy had positioned themselves at ranges exceeding 1,000 meters, beyond effective engagement distance for standard infantry weapons. The improperly calibrated Barrett rifles would be useless at these extreme ranges without proper ballistic corrections. Through her scope, she counted 6 enemy positions strategically placed to dominate the valley approaches. The SEAL teams were trapped in a tactical nightmare, with conventional solutions rapidly failing as suppressing fire proved ineffective against well-positioned opponents. The tactical situation deteriorated rapidly as enemy marksmen began precise counter-sniper fire. Elena watched through her spotting scope as SEAL positions took accurate incoming rounds, forcing the teams deeper into inadequate cover. "Control, this is Alpha Team. Enemy has us bracketed with precision fire. We cannot move from current positions without exposing personnel to confirmed kills." The exercise controllers debated calling a halt to the scenario as conventional solutions failed. Helicopter extraction was ruled out due to simulated surface-to-air threats, and armored support could not navigate the mountainous terrain to reach the trapped units. Elena keyed her radio to the control frequency. "Control, Observer 1 has visual on all enemy positions. I can provide precision fire solutions if authorized to engage with available Barrett systems." The response came back with barely concealed irritation. "Observer 1, maintain your assigned role. We have qualified marksmen handling all precision shooting requirements." Through her scope, Elena watched a SEAL take a direct hit from enemy fire, the training round marking him as a casualty. The tactical clock was running out as more accurate fire rained down on the pinned teams. "Bravo team, this is Alpha. We have 1 confirmed Kia and multiple wounded. Cannot maintain current positions much longer without additional casualties." Elena calculated wind speed, temperature, and humidity factors while observing enemy muzzle flashes. The mathematical precision required for successful engagement at these extreme ranges demanded ballistic expertise beyond standard military training. Expertise she possessed, but could not utilize due to institutional prejudice against civilian contractors. The exercise reached critical failure as multiple SEAL casualties mounted under relentless precision fire. Elena monitored radio transmissions, while enemy marksmen systematically engaged exposed positions with devastating accuracy. "Alpha Team, this is Control. Abort mission and execute emergency extraction procedures immediately." Chief Martinez's voice carried desperation as he responded to the evacuation order. "Control, Alpha Team cannot move to extraction point. Enemy has all approaches covered with precision overwatch. Any movement results in immediate casualties." Elena watched the tactical nightmare unfold through her spotting scope. The enemy had created a perfect ambush scenario with interlocking fields of fire that made movement impossible for the trapped SEALs. Standard counter-sniper protocols had failed completely against opponents positioned at extreme ranges. The Barrett M82A1 systems remained and used in the weapon's cache, their miscalibrated optics rendering them ineffective for the precision shots required. Elena calculated the exact ballistic corrections needed, factoring altitude density, wind velocity, and temperature gradients that would enable successful long-range engagement. Control. This is Observer 1 requesting immediate authorization for precision counter-sniper operations. I have solutions for all enemy positions. The control tower's response reflected institutional bias rather than tactical reality. Observer 1. Maintain observation duties only. Precision shooting is restricted to qualified military personnel. Elena realized that bureaucratic prejudice was condemning the SEAL teams to failure. Her expertise remained unutilized while brave soldiers faced elimination due to institutional inflexibility and gender-based assumptions about combat capabilities in specialized fields. Elena made the decision that would change everything. Ignoring protocols, she moved swiftly to the weapons cache and retrieved the Barrett M82A1 system. Her hands worked with practiced efficiency, adjusting the scope turrets for altitude and atmospheric conditions while calculating precise ballistic solutions. The first target presented at 1,200 meters, a difficult shot requiring compensation for crosswind and elevation differential. Elena settled behind the rifle, her breathing controlled as muscle memory from countless combat deployments took over. The reticle settled on the distant enemy position. Through the scope, she observed the enemy marksman's firing pattern and predicted his next exposure. Wind flags indicated an 8-mile-per-hour crosswind, requiring 2 MOA left adjustment. Temperature readings showed cold air density, requiring additional bullet drop compensation. Elena squeezed the trigger with perfect follow-through. The massive 50-caliber projectile traveled downrange with devastating precision, striking the enemy position and eliminating the primary threat to Alpha Team's eastern flank. Without pause, she adjusted for the second target at 1,400 meters. The ballistic computer in her mind processed variables that standard military training never addressed. Humidity levels, barometric pressure, even the Coriolis effect at extreme range became factors in her mathematical precision. The second shot found its mark with identical accuracy. Radio chatter erupted as SEAL teams realized someone was providing the precision fire support they desperately needed. Elena continued engaging targets with mechanical efficiency, each shot calculated to perfection and delivered with lethal accuracy that defied conventional marksmanship standards. The systematic elimination of enemy positions continued with mathematical precision that stunned the observers. Elena engaged the third target at 1,500 meters, a shot that pushed the Barrett system beyond normal operational parameters. Her calculations incorporated advanced ballistic coefficients that most marksmen never encountered. Alpha Team, this is Control, who is providing precision overwatch. All designated marksmen are accounted for at base positions. Chief Martinez responded with confusion evident in his voice. Control, unknown sniper is engaging targets at ranges we cannot achieve. Whoever is shooting knows exactly what they are doing. Elena transitioned to the fourth target, adjusting for a significant wind shift that had developed as morning thermals began rising from the valley floor. The enemy marksman had repositioned behind better cover, presenting only a partial target requiring pinpoint accuracy. The fourth shot struck with devastating effect, the enemy position falling silent as the projectile found its mark with surgical precision. Elena immediately shifted to engage the fifth target, her movements fluid and practiced as years of advanced marksmanship training took control. Through the radio, she heard Petty Officer Thompson's voice filled with amazement. Control, this shooter is operating at sniper school instructor level. These are impossible shots under current conditions. Elena smiled grimly as she prepared the fifth engagement. The wind had shifted again, requiring real-time adjustments that separated elite marksmen from standard military shooters. Her scope tracked the distant target as she calculated the final ballistic solution needed to break the enemy's tactical advantage completely. The final target presented the ultimate challenge at 1,600 meters through shifting wind patterns and thermal mirage. Elena calculated the complex ballistic solution while observing atmospheric conditions that changed by the second. This shot would require everything she had learned through years of advanced military training. Colonel Reeves arrived at the observation post, drawn by reports of extraordinary marksmanship beyond conventional capabilities. Through his binoculars, he watched Elena make final scope adjustments with the precision of a master craftsman. The sixth shot thundered across the mountain valley, the massive projectile traversing impossible distance to strike the final enemy position with lethal accuracy. Silence fell across the battlefield as the last threat was eliminated through precision shooting that defied standard military doctrine. Alpha Team, this is Control. All enemy positions neutralized. Execute movement to extraction point immediately. As SEAL teams began their withdrawal, Colonel Reeves approached Elena's position. His experienced, I recognized the shooting stance, breathing techniques, and equipment handling that marked elite military training rather than civilian competence. Identify yourself, Marine. Those shooting techniques are not taught in civilian courses. Elena looked up from the Barrett system, her calm demeanor reflecting years of combat experience. Elena Rodriguez, former Staff Sergeant, 3rd Battalion, 2nd Marines, Scout Sniper Platoon. Colonel Reeves examined her precision shooting positions and calculated the extraordinary ranges of engagement. His military experience recognized skills that exceeded standard sniper training, indicating advanced reconnaissance and precision shooting capabilities reserved for classified operations and elite military units. Colonel Reeves retrieved his secure communications device and initiated a priority inquiry through Marine Corps personnel systems. The response arrived within minutes, displaying Elena's complete service record on the encrypted display screen. Staff Sergeant Elena Rodriguez, Marine Corps Scout Sniper School honor graduate, advanced marksmanship instructor, 3 combat deployments with classified reconnaissance operations. Her precision shooting scores exceeded instructor qualification standards by significant margins. The SEAL teams gathered at the extraction point, their previous arrogance replaced by professional respect as they witnessed shooting capabilities beyond their training level. Chief Martinez approached Elena with genuine admiration rather than dismissive mockery. Ma'am, those are the finest precision shots I have witnessed in 20 years of naval special warfare operations. Your ballistic calculations saved American lives today. Petty Officer Thompson stepped forward, his earlier condescension replaced by authentic respect. Staff Sergeant, I apologize for questioning your expertise. Your marksmanship skills exceed anything we learned in SEAL training programs. Elena nodded professionally while securing the Barrett system according to proper military protocols. Her movements reflected institutional training and combat experience that civilian contractors could never possess through recreational shooting courses. Colonel Reeves reviewed her classified training records with growing recognition. Elena's advanced reconnaissance school completion and precision shooting instructor credentials represented elite military capabilities disguised by civilian contractor employment status. The gathered personnel realized they had witnessed extraordinary military competence that transcended conventional special operations training, delivered by someone they had dismissed based on gender and civilian appearance rather than actual technical expertise. Colonel Reeves studied Elena's complete service jacket with professional interest. Her advanced military occupational specialty codes indicated training far beyond standard Marine Corps reconnaissance capabilities. Multiple classified training programs and instructor certifications painted a picture of elite military expertise. Staff Sergeant Rodriguez, your precision shooting demonstration today exceeded special operations standards. These engagement ranges and accuracy levels represent instructor-level capabilities that our advanced programs strive to achieve. The gathered SEAL teams listened as Colonel Reeves detailed Elena's authentic military credentials. Her Scout Sniper school graduation ranked in the top 5%, followed by advanced reconnaissance training and multiple combat deployment ribbons, indicating extensive operational experience. Chief Martinez addressed Elena with genuine respect, replacing his earlier dismissive attitude. "Ma'am, your tactical knowledge and marksmanship skills represent exactly what our special operations community needs for advanced training programs." Elena maintained professional bearing while explaining her transition to civilian contractor status. Post-military adjustment challenges had led to her current employment as a wilderness guide, utilizing her tactical terrain analysis skills in civilian applications rather than military operations. Sergeant Williams approached with visible embarrassment about his earlier technical dismissal. "Staff Sergeant, your ballistic calculations and equipment modifications were precisely correct. The scope adjustments you recommended would have prevented the tactical difficulties we experience today." Colonel Reeves recognized the institutional failure that had nearly cost the exercise success. Authentic military expertise had been dismissed due to gender bias and civilian contractor prejudice, preventing utilization of critical capabilities when lives depended on technical competence. Colonel Reeves presented Elena with an immediate offer that would transform her professional trajectory. The special operations community required advanced marksmanship instructors capable of training personnel to her demonstrated skill levels, positions that civilian contractors could not fill through traditional channels. "Staff Sergeant Rodriguez, I'm offering you a position as Senior Marksmanship Instructor for Joint Special Operations Training Programs. Your precision shooting capabilities and tactical expertise represent exactly what our elite units require for advanced development." Elena considered the opportunity to return to meaningful military service after months of underutilization in civilian employment. Her skills belonged in environments where technical competence determined mission success rather than social prejudices about gender and appearance. The SEAL teams gathered for final acknowledgement of her extraordinary demonstration. Chief Martinez addressed the group with lessons learned about recognizing authentic military expertise regardless of current assignment or civilian contractor status. "Today we witnessed precision marksmanship that saved our tactical scenario through technical competence we failed to recognize. Our prejudices nearly cost mission success because we dismissed proven military capabilities based on appearance rather than actual qualifications." Elena accepted Colonel Reeves' offer, knowing her return to military instruction would provide proper utilization of skills earned through years of dedicated service. The wilderness guiding career had served its purpose during her transition period, but her true calling remained in elite military training. The mountain training facility would implement new protocols for recognizing military expertise among all personnel, ensuring that technical competence received proper evaluation regardless of current employment status or demographic assumptions about capability.